Uh, could you just give the permission to record it? Make me a co-host or something?
Yes, you have.
Okay, thank you. So, good morning, everyone. And I would like to begin today's session with an incident. Last week, there was a business networking meet in Narman Point, and I was invited there. So I was there, you know, sharing about graphology. So after I finished there were few curious people who came to me and said, "But Preeti, I don't write. I mean, who writes nowadays? The only time I pick up a pen is probably if I have to sign." The person on my right said that my writing is bad. I mean, how does that even work? I mean, can I, does it, can it help me then? The third person said me that, I mean, he was a little more curious kind. So he said, Preeti, when I don't write regularly, tell me how will graphotherapy help me? I don't write regularly. So these are, I'm sure, the kind of questions that even the people live here and, the ones who are watching the recording must be having. Yeah. And today's session is to is to understand what is the meaning of these questions and how does graphology and graphotherapy come in picture. And before I do that, I would like to introduce myself that I'm Preeti Gandhi, a handwriting influencer and a graphoanalytical therapist. And in today's session, we will understand that if you write regularly or don't write regularly, what is its impact on on the science of graphology and graphotherapy. And I have in last 3 years alone, I have impacted more than 100 lives through the science and art of graphology. And why I do what I do is because I have had I'm a seasoned entrepreneur. I've been in advertising industry. I have been an IT trainer for, all this for good 21 to 30 years. But finally, this is where my calling came, because when I was in, while everything was going well in my professional life, at emotional level, things were not really that good. And that's when my passion of graphology came in. I practiced the things that I had learned, and I found tremendous change in the way I was and the way I became in a matter of 2 to 3 months. And with that impact and belief, I today am on a mission to really help lots of people through simple act of handwriting. And today I'm going to, as I already mentioned, that address the thing of where do these questions fit in? So, I mean, if you remember, the questions are, who writes? I mean, the only time I pick up pen is probably to sign. The third question is, my handwriting is bad. I mean, how does that work? The fourth question that I normally get is that how can handwriting help me in my growth and personal development? So the first question, yes, I get that, that who writes, because with the way things are nowadays, with the advent of digital media, the requirement to write has reduced a lot. But thankfully, in our Indian education system, writing is still a big part. So that's the good news. Yeah. So I understand that, yeah, who writes? But whenever you write, there is a treasure trove of information that comes up. The second question I normally get is, I only pick up pen to sign, nothing else. But trust me, your signature alone can tell so much about how confident you are, about your decision-making style, about how willing or unwilling are you to impact others' life. So a lot of things come in from signature. I mean, even if you just sign, that is enough for a graphologist to decode a lot of things within you. And the fourth and a very important one is, how can writing help me solve my problems? And that's a fair question. That it might sound as surprising that how writing can actually, help me. But the reason why writing helps is first and foremost because though we say it's handwriting, but you must have seen people who, for some reason, have lost their hands, end up writing through their mouth. Some of them write through their, toes. So whether you write through your mouth or through your hand or through your toes, your writing will be similar, will be same. For a graphologist, we may be able to see nuances, but for a layman, the writing is same. And that is the case because handwriting is actually brain writing. So whether any part of the body you use to write, at the end of the day, it is brain that is, from where it is the source. So the moment you think a thought, there is a lot going on in the brain. It is retrieving the memory of what you want to write. So it is accessing memory. It is then sending the impulses to whatever part of the body you are writing from. And those muscles then begin to form the letters. So the source is always brain. And if the source is brain, then any changes that I do in the patterns impacts the brain. So it's a two-way communication. And I get a lot more details. I get into a lot more details about this in my workshops and advanced programs. But yeah, that is the reason why graphotherapy, graphology helps. Because while you think that you're doing intentional writing, what you're actually doing is impacting the neural connections in your brain. So in short, if we understand what is graphology, I mean, today's topic is, pen or no pen, whether you write regularly or you don't write regularly. Whenever you write, the science of graphology decodes the way you have written. So, for example, if today I was supposed to write, I mean, I know Meenaji has been a teacher. So if I say that, uh, Meena ji is a teacher. So that is the conscious mind saying that Meena ji is a teacher. But the way I write the letter M, the way I write the letter E, the way I write the letter N, the way I write the letter A comes from my subconscious mind. So that is why you will notice that though we have learned to write ABCD the same way in our childhood, but we don't write it the same way today. And that's because whatever is going on in the brain impacts the way you write. And forget the childhood. If you check your writing 5 years before and today, you will find variation in the writing. And my question to you would be why? Why is there a variation? Because there are changes in our mental makeup, depending on the experiences we have, depending on what kind of problems we have solved, depending on any traumatic experience we may have, depending on any bigger goals that we have set in life. All these things impact our brain, and they in turn impact the writing. So when you write, effectively what we are doing is having a fingerprint of the brain. So we can see that, okay, this is what is going on in the person's brain through the art of graphology. And that's where the conscious mind and subconscious mind ka beauty comes into the act of handwriting. So it reveals a lot. It reveals the personality traits. It reveals your emotional state at this point in time. It even reveals the habits, that you have, and probably the ones that you're trying to fight. It in all areas of life, whether I'm talking about, I mean, the HRCM, whether I'm talking about health or relationships or career or money. It decodes things in all areas of life. Uh, so let us look at this question of, who writes? I don't write often. Now, even if you don't write often, the programming in the brain already exists. The neural connections in the brain already exist. So whenever you write, whatever you write shows what is the current neural connections happening there. So that's how, the act. That's why your handwriting, even a line or two of your handwriting tells a lot. That's the graphology aspect, that is analyzing the writing. What is the other aspect? The other aspect of this science is graphotherapy. Now, graphotherapy is a tool that we use for transformation, even if you don't write regularly. So the idea of graphotherapy is not that you have to write pages and pages every day, that you write about what you're going through or any those kind of things. That's not graphotherapy. Graphotherapy is intentional writing. And that writing is, for example, if I give a certain pattern, somebody is in a lot of stress, then I will recommend them a pattern. And all they need to do is write few lines of that pattern. They don't have to be writing anything regularly. So the idea is intentional writing, because when you move your pen in a particular pattern, initially you will realize that though the pattern may feel silly, I have had testimonials where people have said that, Preeti, at the beginning, I felt, what in the world is Preeti doing with us? Writing these silly patterns? I mean, how can they even help me? But on the third, fourth day of practice and seeing that how difficult it was to make those patterns, and the third and fourth day, they could see two things. One is change in the way they were making the pattern, the smoothness in the pattern, and secondly, their own emotional state. They could see that on day one, let's say on a scale of 1 to 5, they were stressed at a level of 3. By the end of third, fourth day, that level had substantially reduced. For some, it had gone down. Some realized that actually there's no stress in my life. That's how graphotherapy works. So it doesn't require you to write very often. It just requires you to write with intention. And that is the beauty of graphotherapy. You don't have to write pages and pages, to solve your problems. So, as I said, so what helps solve the problem is changing how you write certain strokes, practicing them on a day-to-day basis, which takes anything from 5 to 10 minutes. And when you do that, it influences how you think, it influences how you feel. For example, when someone is struggling with, let's say, indecision, they're not able to have decisions, they are not able to make a choice out of the options that's available. Now, there are certain specific strong strokes that help them reinforce their confident mindset, that brings in clarity. So there's certain processes, that I take them through and that I train them for, so that they are able to do that on a day-to-day basis without my help every time. So it's about empowering the individual to be able to use graphotherapy, that is intentional writing, whenever they are at a crossroad, whenever they do not know what decision should actually be good for me, how I can calm myself so that I can think better and I can make a better choice and a better decision. And this is not, what I'm saying is not, it's not like, some fancy thing I'm saying. I'm saying from two things. One is the scientific backing. Brain is adaptable. It is scientifically proven. And scientists have given the term neuroplasticity to it. So, it is said that आप cycling बचपन में सीख लो तो it's good because बड़े होके मुश्किल है. So the term they use is मुश्किल है. It doesn't mean you can't learn it at an older age. Brain is adaptable. You can learn to cycle even if it's not childhood years, even if you are older, because the brain has the capability to adapt to the inputs that you are giving it. So brain is adaptable, something that we call as neuroplasticity. Now, when you begin cycling, even at an older age, maybe it will take you longer than it would have taken a child to learn. But every time you cycle, every time you fall down, or every time you again learn to cycle in a different way, the body is adapting, the brain is adapting to it. The brain is understanding that, okay, when I maintain the body balance like this, I'm able to cycle smoothly. This is how I look on the sides, behind, or front. That ensures my safety. So the brain keeps learning. And over a period of time, 4 days, 5 days, 10 days, you will be cycling smoothly because the neural pathways have been created by consistent cycling. Now, even after 2 years, like, people say that, okay, मैंने childhood में cycling सीखा. Can I cycle today? Everybody knows the answer, yes. मैं childhood में बहुत लिखता था. So when you write today, the same neural pathways are accessed. So it's not that you forget writing. It's not that you forget cycling. It's not that you forget any of thing that you have learned. You can always re-access in your brain because it's present in form of neural pathways. And when you give new information to the neural pathways, the brain has the capacity to form new pathways, to form new connections for the new inputs that you are giving. It's like there is a kind of a forest area and you see that there's a mango tree there. You want to take some mangoes, so you walk through the grass and the grass gives way a little. But if you go on that path every day, you will find एक छोटी सी पगडंडी बन जाती है. But if that tree is really huge, there are a lot of mangoes, then you would say, no, yaar, we should have a proper road. So maybe, you will just clear it up and you will have a proper road. So then that road then becomes permanent. So you may start on a new path, and that's what happens with handwriting as well, graphotherapy as well. You may start with a new stroke, but when you practice that stroke, it becomes permanent. So the key word here is practice. You are what you repeat. I'll repeat that. You are what you repeat. You will recognize that in your day, there are certain things which you keep repeating, which becomes a habit. When it becomes a habit, it is difficult to break. So if you are waking up at 8 o'clock and you want to wake up at 5 o'clock, it's not easy because it's a habit to wake up at 8. Does that mean you can't wake up at 5? No. Once you train the brain, so when you repeatedly do certain things so that you are able to wake up at 7, 6, and 5 eventually, then that becomes a habit. So the habits can be replaced. And graphotherapy is a very simple and powerful way to get that change happening for you. So you are what you repeat. If you repeat waking up at 8 every day, that's your pattern. That's what you will wake up at. But if you change the pattern and begin waking up every day at 5, then that becomes the new pattern. And that's the neuroplasticity, which all of us can use to our advantage every single day. So neuroplasticity is basically effectively training your brain to think and behave in a new way. And this can help you tackle challenges. So when someone says, how can handwriting help me in my growth or in my personal development? This is the answer to that question. Now, I would like you all, there is this thought that I would want you to leave with is that even if you don't write much, keep experimenting and see how small changes can lead to big changes in your life. And there's a small exercise. Would you all like to know about that exercise, which you can practice on a day-to-day basis?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So here's, if you have a paper and pen, just take it up. And I would like you all, I would like you all to give an adjective to your name. So for example, I may say, like, people used to often tell me, Preeti, you are pretty Preeti. And, after I went through my self-development and that journey, I'm like, okay, I'm powerful Preeti, so that's the adjective I like to use for my name. So what is that adjective that you would like to use for your name? You could just unmute and tell that adjective, all of you, one by one. So maybe Shavana ji could start. That's the first name I see on my screen.
I'm still thinking what should be.
Sorry,
I'm still thinking.
you're thinking. Okay, anybody else would like to give an adjective to their name? You can
Gorgeous,
type in the chat box. Yeah,
gorgeous, gorgeous.
I couldn't get that, Shabana ji.
Oh, Meena ji was saying something. Meena ji?
Okay, yeah, Meena ji.
Gorgeous.
Could you type that out in the chat box?
Okay.
All of you, you can type it out in the chat box that what is that adjective you would like to give to your name? So like I would say, I'm powerful, Preeti. So yes, give your brains a bit of a, thinking process. Thoda kaam do apne brain ko subah subah. And let's see what it comes up with. Gorgeous Meena ji. Okay. Gorgeous Meena. That's what you would like to call yourself. So type together, Meena ji. Gorgeous Meena. I want you to write it together. Yes, what about Vasan ji and Neelam ji? And Shabana ji? Gorgeous Meena. Yes. See, we live with ourselves every second of our life. Yet when we have to give an adjective, we never really think of ourselves in that fashion. So you are happy and contented. That's great, Vasan. But I want you to take one adjective and maybe say happy Vasan or joyous Vasan or victorious Vasan. Some name. So it kind of goes together. So you're declaring that this is the state I'm in. Happy Vasan. Okay. Sounds good. Neelam ji and Shabana ji.
I think I also like the term happy. Happy.
Happy Shabana. Okay. You are very inspiring as well, Shabana ji. So, I mean, if I had to use an adjective for you, I would use inspiring, Shabana.
Yeah, I can type that.
And Neelam ji, I'm waiting for you. Okay. So while Neelam ji types it out, what I would like you to do it on a paper and pen that you are having right now. So write, I am inspiring, Shabana. Yes, Shabana ji. So I would like you to write two sentences. One is I am dash and your name. So like I am, for example, if Shabana ji was writing, I am inspiring Shabana. Yeah. And something that you want to do 1 year down the line, you see that, okay, this is what I would be doing 1 year down the line. So write that one more sentence. So it's a 3-step process. First is getting this sentence, getting these two sentences. So I am dash and I want to dash. What is it that you want to see what is it that you see yourself doing 1 year down the line? So I want to dash, right? Now, have all of you written that? So maybe some volunteer who would like to work for 2 minutes on this with me. Shabana ji, you are volunteering?
Okay, I can do that.
Okay, thank you. So now just write, have you written these two sentences?
And I want to, yes.
Yeah, okay, fine. Now, so that's the step 1, getting this sentence, two sentences. Now the step 2 is write this sentence again with a lot of attention, with nice smooth strokes, and you are paying attention to each and every letter. Each and every letter. So you know how you savor some sweet dish or whatever, you like sweet or spicy. So how you kind of savor it, yeah, like you have it and there's that joy. So that's the way, write these two sentences, and all of the others who are present here, and even those who are watching the recording, write this sentence with total engagement, feeling, intentionally, with concentration. So write that. And how does that feel, Shabana ji?
Like, I'm totally, it's like you are only focused on that. You are not thinking about anything. You are not, you know, yeah. It's like what you're doing, you're totally consumed by.
Yeah. And, it's like you and those words, you and those
Yeah.
words. That's all that exists. Now, if you notice, meditation is similar. Like,
Mm,
where it's only you and your thoughts, you and what state you want to get into. That's why people meditate.
mm,
If you do this exercise this way, it's meditative. And if you are in a cut kind of a state where you're feeling stressed, you just don't know what to do. And
mm,
if you write these two sentences intentionally with all your focus, and only you and your book and what you're writing is present in the entire world, you will find your state changing. So the third step is you repeat this exercise whenever you feel not calm, you feel confused, you are angry, upset, any negative, disempowering situation that you feel in. Write this at least 7 or 11 times with full attention, full, like these are the only things that exist in world. And see how, and I can promise you that whatever the discomfort was there, it will come down substantially as you write this 7 times, 11 times, 21 times, as much as it takes to get into that calmer state. Most of the times I have observed with my participants is that one page normally does it. But if you're very, very focused and attentive, even 7 to 11 times works. So it again depends on kitna, shiddat se aap kar rahe ho, kitna concentration se kar rahe ho. So that's what this simple exercise is. So it's a 3-step thing. First is find your 2 sentences, get that right. Second is practice right now to write it intentionally. The key here is intentionally. With all your focus, concentration, energy, you write that. And third is practice this whenever you are feeling stressed or any disempowering emotion, and you will find a change in your state. So that's something I would like you to experiment with and see how these small changes are impacting your life. When you do that regularly, as I said, you are what you repeat. And if you repeat this on a regular basis, you will find things, you get calmer more faster than before. So you will find that there will be a change in either of the three things. Either the intensity of your disempowering feeling will start reducing over a period of time. Secondly is the frequency with which it comes. If you are feeling stressed, let's say 10 times in a day, when you do this on a regular basis, you will find that probably it's coming down to 8, probably it's coming down to 5. So the frequency will reduce. And third is the comeback time, how long you take to get back into a calm state, into a neutral state, where you feel empowered to think clearly so that there's no confusion, to be able to make a decision, recognizing what are the long-term impact of the decision that I make today. So these are 3 ways in which you can see the difference in your space. So that's it from my end today. And if you have any query, feel free to ask. And if you would like to know that what your handwriting says about you, you can book a session with me for handwriting analysis, and we can take your journey from there. But I am open to any questions that you may have right now.
Awesome, Preeti James. This was really a very good exercise. I'm going to practice it.
Okay. And I'm glad today I could finish on time, 8:30. Otherwise, normally I end up exceeding my time. So,
No, the timing is still 8:45.
oh, the timing is still 8:45. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair. Okay. So if we have some more time,
Yeah.
I would be happy to take a 3-point analysis of anyone's signature.
Yeah, myself.
Okay. So write one sentence and then do your signature below that. And if you can, share it on the group here or share it with Shabana ji. She'll share it with me.
I'll share it in the chat. My signature is normally like this. Uh, sorry. Sorry, R, sorry, R, typo error all the time. R, K. I use my initials to do that.
Okay.
Everything is just RK.
Okay. Okay. So Rajveen, I would want to see the WhatsApp picture of a signature that you do. Yours or anybody's who would like to volunteer. So I'm happy to do a 3-point analysis. So tell you 3 things about your signature. Since we have time.
I know that I'm sincere. I'm honest.
Okay.
I learn to discover new things,
Okay.
discover new places. That's why I went to Northeast Malaysia to do my teacher training. So that's
Okay.
why. And then when I'm a very calm person, but if something repeatedly triggers me, and I suppress my feelings a lot. And if something triggers me, I just keep silent. 1, 2 times, I just keep silent. Third time, you're not going to.
So while Rajveen is sharing, Vasanji, if you would want to, can you just post the signature here in the chat as a picture? In the chat, or if Shabana, if you could send it to Shabana ji, then I could she could send it me right away.
Or he can show it on
He can
video.
share it on the chat also over here. He can share it directly to me. I mean, that's also okay.
Or you can show on the video as well, essentially, maybe.
On the video, okay. Vasanji, you could do that and let me see. Let me pin your chat so I can see it. Yeah, Vasanji, you can show me now. Can you start your video and show me the signature? Okay, so keep it steady. Yeah, keep it steady. Keep it steady. And so what is that signature? It is your surname, Salia. Yeah, can you unmute and tell what is the signature?
Salia VT.
Sorry, could you be a little louder?
VT, Salia VT.
Salia, okay. And show me the signature again. Okay, so keep it steady. Keep it steady. Okay. 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 So Salia, and after that you have VC.
T.
T.
Okay. Uh, so I will just kind of, I've taken a screenshot, so I'll just put it in a word so that I can see the signature. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, so Salyaji, sorry, Vasanji, what I can say is that you are a person. Can you just keep your video on? Yes. Yeah. So Vasanji, what I can see from your signature is that you are somebody who is very, very family oriented, who will keep the, family first in all the decisions. So that is one very, very, uh, you know, a very critical thing for you. Other thing that I can see from the signature is that whenever you take decisions or something, you would want someone to, stand beside you and say that, yes, this is right. You would want to have that support, that validation of, the decision that you are taking. And another thing, though it is pretty hazy, the screenshot that I have taken, but I see that you are a learner. You like to keep learning, and your learning kind of doesn't stop. And whenever you are having any discussion or talking, then you like to take that to the logical end. So you would argue it out, but you would want to explain why you are thinking this, and you will not stop till it, till it reaches either in your favor or you have had your say. So these are 3, 4 things that I can see in your signature. Does that resonate with you, Vasanji?
Yes, yes. Thank you.
So does this resonate? Is this true for you?
Yeah.
So if you had to give like a percentage, that how much percent was true, what percentage would you give to it?
99.
99. Okay. Thanks for validating that, Vasanji. So as you can see that, when if you had seen on the screen, the moment you put your pen on paper, the subconscious mind's patterns begin showing up. So it is a very, very powerful science where everything that you do with pen on the paper tells what is going on in the subconscious mind. So though right now this is not a very proper sample, but still there were things that one could understand about the personality of Vasanji. Now, where the advantage happens is, see, telling these aspects of a person, 80% of the things Vasanji would already be knowing. Like, it's not something new I have said. Where it helps is that what the gaps in the handwriting, the weaknesses in the writing, that we all have weaknesses in our personality. We have strengths, we have weaknesses. So what is the goal of my life currently, and how these weaknesses are impacting me, and how I can overcome these gaps or these hurdles in my life. And that's where graphotherapy helps. So analysis helps us to understand the person, to understand the strength and weakness, areas of improvement, the decision-making patterns, all of that. But the magic happens when we understand the goal of the person and what is stopping the person from going from here, where you are right now, to the goal. And that's where graphotherapy comes in. So that's the beauty of graphology and graphotherapy. Handwriting analysis, what I just did, and therapy would be that, okay, if this is the goal of Vasanji, then what aspects of his personality are a hurdle to reach that goal? And how through graphotherapy, we can intentionally write out certain patterns which will cause a different kind of wiring in our brain. We have understood the power of neuroplasticity. So that is what would be coming in play. Yeah, and any questions here? So I would like to thank Vasanji for volunteering, and all of you
We
could
also want to learn the science.
Vasanji. Sorry, Shavanaji?
We would also like to learn the science of signature.
Most welcome, dear, most welcome. I mean, you tell me to talk about handwriting and I can go on throughout the day. I just filter out, knowing that yeah, let me give the information that is currently required by the audience. So yeah,
Awesome.
okay. Thank you for your time and being present here. And Vasanji, thank you for volunteering. I mean, it takes a certain amount of courage to come out and show your signature, because if you notice many a times when people are writing, so you will always find someone saying, "Arey, meri writing to bahut kharab hai. I will write the last. I don't want people to see my writing." So
Yeah.
that happens often. So thank you everyone and have a good day. It's Wednesday, middle of the week. Make your rest of the week count. Practice these things. And if you have any queries, you can connect with me. If you would like your handwriting analyzed in a more detailed way, you are free to connect with me. Shabana ji can share my details and we can get going from there.
Yes.
Thank
Thank you.
you, everyone.
And we are also doing the workshop. So
Yes,
Preeti,
we are also doing the workshop on social anxiety. Shabana ji will be sharing the details of that as well. Now, what we will be taking in that workshop is how social anxiety. What is social anxiety? What is anxiety and what is social anxiety? Why that comes up? What are its impact on our day-to-day life? And how does handwriting come into picture? So we will actually look at our handwriting. Every participant will look at their handwriting and we will identify patterns related to anxiety in the handwriting and see how it comes up and what can be done about it. So that's what the workshop is about. It is in the end of this month. So do get connected, register for the workshop. And the fees have been kept so uh, you know economical that I do not want that the fees to be a hurdle for you to know a little more about your own handwriting. So they are very, very, I would say, pocket friendly. So just go ahead and register and understand in your writing, where do you see anxiety, how it shows up, and what can be done about it.
awesome.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Preeti. Thank you.
Everyone have a good day.